If I had to use one word to describe him, it would be unhinged. Someone really hurt this guy, and he is now on a mission to make sure everybody knows about it. I don't think this guy is an actual person. This guy is a fucking caricature. You're just a fucking bully. You are literally a sad little man sat behind his keyboard and mouse. If you ever come across this person, report him. Don't give him the attention he wants. Again, I blurred his name and everything on this. This guy wants you to come into his stream and tell him what an asshole he is. He wants it. He craves it. Don't give it to him. If you know who this is, if you ever come up against him, ignore him, report him, and move on. That is the best way that you can annoy this guy. I promise. The killer isn't interested in what survivors think is fair. Yeah, true. To be fair, you know, a killer doesn't have to play fair for the survivors, just like the survivors don't have to play fair for the killer. It's not on one side to make sure the other side is having fun. That's not their job. Camping and tunneling are what keeps the survivor herd lean. It's only the lame of the pack that end up on the hook. Okay, that's a little bit weird. Don't fully understand where you're going with that one, but, you know, that is fine.
Okay, so when I'm playing the killer, I like to think of myself as a hunter, you know, following scratch marks, listening out for, you know, audio cues and stuff, that sort of thing, you know, keep your eyes open. I will only hook about 2 people a match on average, as it tends to be the ones who make mistakes. The ones who get caught in the chase tend to be the people who are not as good as people who are fantastic. That's why people talk about abandoning the chase and stuff. So the lame of the pack, these are the guys that get hooked. Just the people who are not that good.
And then the third one, face camping Bubba, helping remind the survivor community who is in charge, the killer. Oh.
The whole idea of face camping Bubba is to let survivors remember that not all killers are here to be knocked around by the neon squad, you know, the guys wearing the brightest clothes because they don't care if you see them or not. Try running like a meme build on someone like Trapper or Clown or Pig or something. See how your match goes.
So the person comes into his chat and puts, "What is your problem?"
Hey dude, listen, you're a cocky bastard. You are being so fucking cocky.
Now, have a think about what you think this person did. Just have a think. And then I'm going to show you. And I guarantee it will not be anywhere near what you think it is. Did you see it? Did you see why he was a cocky bastard? He used sprint burst. That was it. And this streamer's reaction is bonkers. Check it out.
So problem is, yes, you were being a cocky little bastard with your sprint burst, like, oh, I'm exposed, am I? Ho ho ho, come and catch me, killer. Haha, sprint burst. See you later, fucko. That was your plan. You were being a cocky little bastard. You were walking right in front of the hook.
To get the save.
Holding your sprint burst, just waiting for me to fucking go for it. Yeah, you were, dude. Show killers the respect they deserve.
And there is the first instance of what makes this guy so fucking unhinged to me, right? He says that the guy was holding his sprint burst basically as a way to almost rub it in the killer's face that he had sprint burst. But let's talk about what actually happened at the hook. The guy was walking over to get the unhook, heard the terror radius in the area, so probably didn't want to leave scratch marks next to the hook to let the killer know what he was about to do. And then when he saw that the killer was creeping up behind him and about to bash him on the head, he used his sprint burst to get away. Why is that wrong? Why is that cocky?
Oh, let's do some Japanese stuff. Oh, I see movement. And they see me and they've got sprint burst. So the Claudette knew that I was in the area. I passed her when I was chasing somebody. She'd already left scratch marks in the area. You see for the footage here. She knows which direction I'm coming from. She's looking at me. She waits until the last second and then sprint bursts away. That's what makes it cocky. Remember, cocky's confident in a bolder, cheeky way. So why it's cocky is because Claudette was exposed. She was a one shot down. The whole chase of injure somebody, let her run away, hit her a second time, doesn't exist because you can hit her and she go down straight away. That's why I thought it was cocky. That's my take on it as somebody who's played Killer just for years. If you think differently, that's okay. It's again, I'm the Killer, you're the Survivor, you think differently. But the bottom line is that Claudette came into my stream to ask my opinion on what I thought.
And there is the first instance of what makes this guy so fucking unhinged to me, right?
So the thing is, he says gameplay commentary makes me unhinged, so I'm doing gameplay, commentary essentially on Twitch. And this is like a running theme of mental health shaming that this guy does.
But let's talk about what actually happened at the hook. The guy was walking over to get the unhook, heard the terror radius in the area, so probably didn't want to leave scratch marks next to the hook.
He had already left scratch marks. He knew where I was.
When he saw that the killer was creeping up behind him and about to bash him on the head, he used his sprint burst to get away. Why is that cocky?
And again, it's the fact that you're a one shot down and they waited to the last minute. That's why it was cheeky. He didn't keep maximum distance, play the game, as best as he could. He wanted to bait the swing from me. She was down within 17 seconds of me chasing her, so my point was confirmed. She was being cheeky, and because she was being cheeky, she got downed in 17 seconds.
He genuinely thinks that killer mains are somehow above survivor mains.
It's not that killer mains are above survivor mains at all. Remember, there's no community here. It's literally just killer against survivor. The killer's a stronger character because it's 4 versus 1. And the only way that killer can win is if he kills everyone, and the way that survivors win is if they escape. I don't understand why I'm having to explain the fundamental mechanics of the game, but here we are.
That the killer community is somehow superior to the survivor community.
The fact that you're trying to lump all killers and survivors into communities really makes me feel like you're trying to make it a larger issue than what I said. I said, show killers, and this is the horror franchise killers that want to kill survivors. I've had nothing against any communities at all. It's always been against the survivors. My subs are people who've actually came into my stream after a game, realised that I like to get into the role of whatever I'm doing, get right into it. And any feelings from Bubba towards survivors is just that of a killer.
I don't know who hurt him in the past.
Again, you're assuming someone must have hurt me in the past because of the way I like to play my games.
I don't know what survivor main clicked at him way too much.
Most survivors are totally fine. There is a small bunch of survivors who are there to infuriate the killer, frustrate them, make them feel like they've, got no power.
I don't know what bully squad made him cry in the corner.
The way you talk about bully squads makes me think that you haven't played Killer for long enough. These guys push the boundaries on who's actually the real threat in the game. 4 flashlights, people body blocking, taking protection hits, saboing hooks. I understand they're all part of the toolkit the survivor has, but when they're used together in an excess, it really makes you feel like you've got no power at all as a killer, as these mega franchise killers. Again, it's my opinion, and it's on my Twitch channel.
But someone really hurt this guy, and he is now on a mission to make sure everybody knows about it.
Now, face camping is part of the game, and I'm sorry that it upsets you, but remember, it's not my job to make sure the survivors are having fun.
He has a particular joy that he expresses when he finds a TTV in his lobby, and I'm just going to show you an instance of that now.
Oh, we've got a TTV Leon. You know how I like a delicious Leon. Num 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 num. So I've been streaming for just over a month. I know this guy has probably forgotten what it's like to have, little or no viewers, but when a Twitch player comes into your lobby and your view count goes up, that's a big deal, and that's why I'm excited about Twitch people coming into the stream.
So he has his stream open in the background, you can hear it.
I always like to go on the Twitch person at the start of a match. Usually I'll say, I'm your killer, good luck, something like that. If I've got a lot going on, sometimes I don't get to say that. No, I'm 100% going to stream snipe the guy because I want to know where the fuck he is. So no hate, please.
Ah! announces that he's going to be stream sniping, announces that he's going to be tunneling him, and then says, no hate, please.
Okay, so this is where I show myself being a total newbie. I generally thought stream sniping was, sniping the Twitch guy from the other four. I had heard of stream sniping before I started on Twitch, but, didn't think much of it. I mean, did it sound like I thought stream sniping was not okay? I mean, even the obvious no hate quote that I sort of made was something that I heard of before streaming, as far as I knew, it was part and parcel of being on Twitch. And rather than pointing this out to me, as one big streamer helping out maybe the new guy that's coming on Twitch, you said nothing and decided it'd be good fodder for your latest video and recorded me instead. It seems like your motivations for making these videos is money, not to actually help the community at Dead by Daylight. Out of your whole video, this is the one thing that I can say, okay, thanks, excellent advice, something I'm not going to do again, obviously. But, I've only been streaming for a few weeks and people make mistakes, I guess. I mean, I didn't read every single rule on Twitch, just like I didn't read all the terms and conditions for, software updates for the, EULA and things for games I've bought. But lesson learned. Thanks, though. I appreciate it. Again, I wish you could have just said that in a comment and not in a 22-minute hate video, but that's where we are, unfortunately.
And he just hits him on the hook. For a little bit.
Okie doke, so slugging on hook, while part of the whole evil killer persona thing, it's actually a tactic which I use. So when dealing with a face camping bubba, most people will say, do gens, leave, don't get involved. Hitting someone on the hook, it sometimes gets them to a more, engage from their emotional side of their brain, rather than the logical side. So that logical side of do gens and get out sometimes goes away. And when they come and, rescue, I can then kill them, so it benefits me. Dirty bastard survivor getting what he deserves. Loving it.
What did he do? What did he do? He loaded into the game. Before he had even loaded into the game, you had already set him as a target, and you're saying he got what he deserved?
Yeah, I mean, in the game lobby, I said I'm going for him. Again, if I say that I want to go for somebody and target them in the lobby, then I'll do that, It's, you don't get to decide what I do. I mean, what I meant is spread my love equally amongst all survivors. No, sorry, that's, I'll do what I want.
What do you mean? Why are you so mad at survivors? Yeah.
So the killer's job is to kill or sacrifice them on the hook for the entity. The killer is angry at survivors because the killer wants to kill the survivors. When I play Bubba, I think all survivors deserve either the hook or the chainsaw. That's what they're going to be getting with Bubba. So I'm not mad at survivors. Bubba's mad at survivors. That's the killer that I'm playing. If someone comes into the lobby afterwards, they're still a survivor. I don't see them as Joe, the guy who's playing Ash or whatever. He's still a survivor. Now, if they come into my Twitch lobby and they want to talk to me, as Lionic, then absolutely I'm there to find out about, how they're getting on and how they thought the game went. 100%. But remember, I am playing the killer role. This fucking guy never even fucking stayed to do his time on the hook, man. What a fucking piece of shit.
What?
Hate that.
He deadass, as a killer, got mad because the survivor let himself die too quickly.
The thing is, this Twitch guy represents 120 seconds of unmolested play for his team when you're against a face camp and bubble. So a full gen takes 90 seconds to repair. That means you can do 3 gens and get started on the last 2 for just 1 hook state, 120 seconds. By giving up on hook, he's taken that time that the survivors can do that away from his teammates. He's putting his fun above the people who are relying on each other to escape the trial, essentially. People are complaining a lot about solo queue nowadays. I see it on the forums a lot. How do you think his teammates felt when he just gives up on hook? It's like the guy who quits because you scored twice into him on FIFA, doesn't want to continue the game. The reason I was not happy is because even though I'm playing the baddie killer role, I'm still a gamer and I still understand that, what he's doing is toxic for the survivor community.
This streamer, mad props to him, by the way, his link will be in the description because he's an absolute sweetheart, didn't care. He was just like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to move on to the next game then. He had such a good reaction to it.
You call this guy a sweetheart for having such a good reaction to it, but I just pointed out why he doesn't deserve any praise. Apart from the fact that he didn't take his 3 chances to escape, which, to be honest, makes me think like he was just tabbed out. He wasn't even playing. And apparently you've actually had to retract your sweetheart comments for whatever reason. But I mean, it just shows you, it's very difficult to judge people.
And this guy couldn't handle that. And he had to just make something up about why he should show this guy hate.
Pointing out my opinions on what he did in-game on my stream. Yes, again, this is my comment. When you come to the Lionic stream, you're here to listen to what the Lionic thinks of, whatever it might be, whatever game, whatever movie we're talking about, whatever it is.
So toxic because he wanted to go and have fun. Is there logic there? Is there actually logic there? We also need to address the fact that he twists the words, okay? The survivor didn't leave, okay? The survivor didn't DC, the survivor didn't just rage quit. The survivor went through his whole first stage, realized that this bubba was going to camp him until he died, so just let it happen quicker.
So again, I feel like you're trying to normalise poor behaviour. I have to say it again, it's not my job to make sure the survivor is having fun, which you agreed with that at the start of the video. This is what this guy's doing. He's saying, the killer made the game unfun for me, so rather than just wait 60 seconds, as a courtesy to the people that I queued up with, that I lobbied with, who are right now trying to do gens to escape, fuck them. Just give up. Whatever.
And this guy compares it to coming up against a bully squad.
As I mentioned earlier, a bully squad can make the killer feel powerless. As a lover of cinema, of like horror franchises, seeing Freddy Krueger become like a punching bag for these group of survivors, the teabag crew, it is a nightmare for me. It hits hard for me that, behaviour has created an environment where the survivor is more important than the killer franchises that has brought people to the game.
And the fact that he calls it toxic.
I felt it was toxic.
Someone needs to buy a dictionary for this man and teach him what toxicity actually is.
I personally think that the word toxic is like the ultimate subjective word in Dead by Daylight. I think that different people who play on either sides will have different ideas of what they think is toxic. Survivors probably think slugging's toxic, face camping's toxic, but again, it's all my commentary on my own channel.
And has to make up this whole bullshit reason about why he thinks that this guy is in the wrong because he let himself die on hook, which as a killer main, surely is better for you.
Just because something benefits me doesn't mean that I'm okay with it. If someone disconnects, even for totally random reason, it still makes me feel like, the remaining survivors have been cheated. I was sticking up for the people in the game that were on the other team because I thought it was toxic.
So you'll notice immediately what he does is he goes straight into the chat, puts GG, easy, 2K.
So just a quick one here. Killers are immediately on a 4v1 in the endgame chat. So you've got 4 different people that may have thought the way you played wasn't what they wanted. I may not have created the fun they were looking for, obviously at my expense, let people go, they have fun and I have to chase them. A preemptive strike with the whole GG easy as killer, I feel it's okay. I feel it's within the whole cheekiness role of the survivor. The stuff that killers get thrown is horrendous, get cancer, die, wish your family dies, really horrific stuff. I've actually got about 350 comments just now on my profile where, the endgame chat wasn't enough for the survivor. They had to come out of game onto my profile to comment. Just like they do on my Twitch stream, they come out and they hurl abuse. Because what? Because the game wasn't fun for them? Remember, it's not my job to make sure the game is fun for them. Let's just clear this thing up about the whole face camping thing as well, because it's quite important.
The whole point of camping, or like part of how camping is intentionally balanced, is that it keeps a killer distracted if you're camping and lets the survivors go and fix gens and get out. We admit that it kind of sucks for the guy on the hook. We're not super happy about that. And there's some things that we've talked about and scenarios to rebalance it. We don't want camping to be super appealing to killers, at least from I would like to kill them.
Bad strategy. We all know that.
Yeah, we want it to be a bad strategy, right? We want it to be something that is punished by the survivors if you're camping. So are we going to punish campers like in terms of bans or any kind of like making it a reportable offense? No, we're not going to do that. We may rebalance elements of it in the future to be even less appealing to face camping killers. But that's the intention. The intention is you can do it if you want, but it's just a bad idea.
So here you can see the dev state that face camping is not reportable or bannable. It's just a strategy. They think it's a bad one.
Dude, someone had to save you, Meg. You had to rely on others for you to live. Yeah, it's kind of how the game works. If you're hooked, you need to be unhooked. That's how it works.
Just because something can happen in-game, because the mechanics are there, doesn't mean that's how the game works. So as a camping bubba, I can say that, normally people don't come to save. My big gripe was simple, but I'll try to clear it up. When a survivor makes a smart move, so let's say they play really, really well, they chase me for a lot of gens and they're really skillful, I'll say it on the stream, this guy's a gamer, this guy's good. Even though I'm the bad guy, I can still recognise gameplay that's good and say it's good and respect it. What I don't appreciate though is survivors who haven't made those plays, who have, not rescued anybody off the hook or managed to survive through some, skill or some sort of plan that they've had, someone who actually died on the hook because this person was saved. They traded places. My respect is with the guy who died on the hook, not the guy who got carried out the gate. It's like someone who sits on the bench the entire season and gets like a winner's medal because they were part of the team. I'm glad you escaped. Good, you've got your medal, but don't brag about it. You haven't done anything to earn that. And again, that's my opinion on my stream.
One of the TTVs then puts, you camped the hook, and he puts, yeah, I did, because I dictate the gameplay, you rat survivor. Remember your place.
Survivor was angry because I camped the hook as the killer, and the fact that this guy thought that, he could tell me how to play is quite insulting. I'm going to be killing survivors that are trying to escape, and the fact that I want to confirm my kills by standing at the hook is my choice. It's something that I can do, and again, as a playstyle in the game.
Remember your place. He dead ass, in all seriousness, puts remember your place in the endgame chat.
I'm playing the role of a killer who eats people and wears their bloody skin as a mask. We're talking about Leatherface here.
I don't think this guy is an actual person. I think he's fake. Somebody has set him up as a trap for me to find and make a video about.
I don't think you like that I'm enjoying that particular playstyle. I do play every killer. If you've watched my streams, you'll see I play Freddy and Pinhead and all these fantastic, killers. Some people don't get into games when they play them. I do. I'm emotionally invested in the game that I'm playing because for me, games are about entertainment. It's escapism. It's just an art form that these guys have created for us. I enjoy lots of roles and lots of games. I'm a big Total War guy. Been playing for over 20 years. Played on a role-playing PvP server on Warcraft for many years. I could be the Lone Wanderer in Fallout or the sneaky range Khajiit guy in Skyrim. Remember, I have never once said the guy that's playing as Meg is, a piece of shit or scum or something like that, or that Bill in real life is XYZ and I hope this happens to them. Never do that at all. It's all about the survivor.
He then goes on to say, whatever your hours are in the game, divide it by 4. My game time is chase time. Your game time is repairing generators 75% of the time. Boring XD.
The killer can only chase one survivor at a time. There's 4 survivors. That means that 75% of the survivors are not getting chased at any one time. This is why I feel killers are more in tune with what's really happening with patches and updates and stuff, because their game is all about the chase. It's chase, until you down somebody, etc.
First of all, why are you just making up statistics? But I can do the exact same thing, because you're chatting shit. Your game time is not chasing. I would say 24.6% of your game time is chasing. The rest of it is spent staring at survivors on the hook.
Sure, when I'm playing Bubba, one of the 28 other killers that you can play, I'm going to be defending the hook. That doesn't mean I'm AFK. It means that I'm ready to essentially fight off the wolves. And here's a few clips of me defending the hook.
Hook defended.
Oh. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? Oh my god. Boom goes the dynamite.
I don't think that's more entertaining, personally, than watching somebody on a gen. At least with a gen, there's skill checks. Keeps it a little bit fresh.
If you think getting a down and defending that person from all the little altruistic survivors is more fun than doing a skill check, I mean, again, what I enjoy, my opinions, you'll find on Twitch, and that's why I play Killer and not Survivor. If you find Survivor, fun, then great. Play for you, fantastic. You've got to love the cheekiness get good after they have to be rescued from the hook because they got downed. They were essentially on death's door until somebody else came in, to intervene and save them.
That's how the game works. You get downed, you get hooked, you get unhooked. That doesn't mean you're a bad survivor. That's how the game works.
Getting unhooked doesn't make you a bad survivor. No, not at all. But acting as if you were, the mastermind behind Mad Demise, as the guy who unhooked you dies and you escape, I wouldn't be bragging about it. Again, my 2 cents. Spent half the time doing gens, half the time robbing cars. Robbing fucking cars.
Oh. We're going down that route, are we? Okay. I don't know why he brings it in and acts like everybody in Liverpool spends 50% of their days on generators in Dead by Daylight and then 50% of their days stealing cars.
So before you asked if I was real, that there was no way that I could be real, I need to ask you now, is this shenanigans? This is clearly me doing an impersonation of somebody for a joke, for comedy, right? Humour. My poor attempt at humour.
Well, like scrumping. When I was a kid back in Liverpool, we used to always go scrumping. Oh, stealing apples, that's hardly a crime, sir. But me and my mates, we used to go scrumping for cars.
Yeah, that's a real common Liverpool stereotype that I hear, actually. Yeah, it's someone then comes into his chat, presumably from the other place, and says, "Eat shit, dickhead."
You fucking what? You're gonna cook some chicken? Some chicken?
That's a real good comeback, bud. You're gonna cook some chicken. You know what? When someone tells me to eat shit, I also say you're gonna cook some chicken.
The thing that you didn't show was the person came into my stream. This is the end game chat not being enough and then wanting to take it further coming into my stream. See, this person comes in and starts being abusive to me, and how do I react? I try to continue the joke, try to sort of de-escalate the situation before my mods have to come in and ban them and stuff.
I think we also have to talk about the absolute hilarious irony of this Scottish man sitting here and taking the piss out of typical Scouse traits, being very stereotypical and trying to use it as insults.
No, see, I'm trying to have a laugh. I understand that doing an accent might not be your humour, but lots of people find it funny. Here's a Harry Enfield clip.
That's my video. Give that back. Yeah, but that's my freaking Nintendo. Hey, but that's my CD player. You thieving bastard. Hey, people like you were giving Scousers a bad name. Oh, yeah.
And doing an accent is fun, and you should try it. Here's a Scottish comedian called Limmy. He's doing some Scouse accents.
I sometimes do a Liverpudlian accent, and I go like, wech, loch, wech. And some of you go like, nobody in Liverpool speaks like that. And then I watched this video, I was like, this is the one.
Now, depending on your immunisation status, you'll either need to do a test on day 2 after you've come home, or day 2 and day 8 directly to Randox, or you can organise in these samples directly to Randox, or you can organise.
Or you can look.
And then having the Freedom sound clip from Braveheart playing as a follower alert.
So the reason I have the whole Freedom from Braveheart thing playing is because, well, you know, Tyrion said it best, never forget what you are. The rest of the world won't. Wear it like armour, and it can never be used to hurt you. Also because I'm a lover of ancient history and, you know, Scottish independence wars and stuff like that. I'm sorry if that upsets you.
The irony, I feel like you wouldn't know it if it slapped him in the face.
I really feel like you wouldn't know humour, you know? But then again, I don't watch your streams. Even the Scottish know of the purple Aki.
Now, I had to look this up because I didn't know what purple Aki was, but I was curious. The name Purple Aki is a name for someone who has been categorized as a nonce, which, by the way, is a British slang word for a paedophile. The trigger warning, we're going to talk about some of these topics in brief detail. But Purple Aki in particular refers to one guy who was, he became infamous in the northwest of England for inappropriately approaching and touching young men. That's what he's referring to. So he's first of all making a joke about a paedophile in regards to Liverpool, which is a bit weird.
Again, I appreciate it's not your humour. I actually only made reference to the local Liverpool boogeyman as a joke. But then again, I've never actually heard anybody make a joke like this before. No Jimmy Savile jokes, no pedo jokes. Never heard of this before.
3 life sentences. The spokesman said, you think you know a guy, and then he goes and does something like that.
Have we got any letters at all?
Yeah, Louise Carpenter from Shrewsbury says, Dear Frank and David, my 8-year-old daughter loved the Jimmy Savile World Cup comment slot that you did at the beginning of the series. She keeps asking, what has happened to it? Will it be back?
8-year-old girls love Jimmy Savile, though, don't they? And of course... Anyway, I won't go on.
Yeah. Yeah, he loves her slot. That's what I'm saying.
I nearly went on that show. I wanted to meet a geezer called Martin Chivers, right? He used to play for Spurs. He could throw the ball a long way, and I fancied a bit of that. It never came off. Thank God for that. I was a stunner when I was 9. I was.
I'd simulate the feeling of paedophilia by getting Jeremy Beadle to wank me off with his tiny hand. Savile, man, he had his own TV show. The other pedos must have been raging. I've got a TV show that makes children's dreams come true. What have you got? A transit van and a big bag of apples? Fuck off.
And that's the big thing here. You know, my humour and your humour are apparently not on the same level, and that's all right. But, you know, all this is taking place on my channel with me making my commentary, you know, making jokes and stuff. No one is making you stay here at all, so, you know, you're not trapped. Now, I should have just banned the guy, but I tried to win him over with my, you know, terrible impersonations. My bad, I guess, on that one.
And also, the name Purple Aki actually has some racist connotations because the person it's talking about was actually black, which is what the purple refers to.
So if referring to this guy as Purple Aki is racist somehow, then please, you know, stop the people who are pumping the information, you know, that I'm taking. So the BBC, or maybe if, you know, you want to go for another Scotsman, Count Dankula has a video on Purple Aki as well.
It's amazing. Everyone in Liverpool has heard of Per Palaki.
So not only is this guy insulting Liverpool with a reference to a paedophile and how the paedophile is going to get them, but he's also using a racist connotation name.
So this is the reason that myself as like a newbie streamer wanted to make a response video on it. This is where I feel like you've really crossed the line for me. Everything else before was kind of like, you know, I would sort of leave it, but what you're trying to do here is you're trying to put me in a box with racist written on it because I've referenced a documentary that I watched on the BBC. Really not on. You're making a massive leap here. Racism's disgusting, and you know, I've nothing but time for anyone else who has experienced that sort of thing before. But you want to turn this group of people against me. Why? Because we all know racism's wrong, and you want to be the right guy. You want to be the, you know, the sort of guy leading the charge. Well, I'm not racist, and it's disgusting.
So that's good. We've stepped into that territory.
No, mate, you have. You deliberately chose to say what you said because you're building your audience's hate towards myself. So much so, but by the end of the video, this awful person deserves what's coming to him, and more on that later.
Isn't that nice? But it's not over there. He says more.
You can always trust a Scouser to rob you blind.
Great. Nice little
Scousers are like, you know, like second-class Geordies.
Second-class
I mean, Geordies have got a funny accent, but at least they're, you know, brand new people.
Now you're insulting the
These
Geordies.
Liverpudlians. So if I wasn't joking, how would calling a Scouser a second-class Geordie insult the Geordie somehow? Remember, I'm the one who needs to eat shit. I'm a dickhead. I'm an absolute arsehole. I need to get good. I'm a Scottish cunt, a weirdo, and then worse. I'm actually just having a fucking, you know, I have nothing against the people from Liverpool at all.
Yeah, you're really convincing me of that one.
I'm really sorry, but if you can't see that I was trying to make a joke, then, you know, GG from me. If you take everything I say and remove all context from it, you know, all emotions, all the situations and stuff, you could paint me however you want.
You've got nothing against the people of Liverpool. You've just sat for a good 5-10 minutes throwing every insult under the sun at them. Sure.
Remember, it was actually the person from Liverpool throwing every insult at me. I was trying to move on, get on with the stream stuff. I was talking about gameplay, you know, stream stuff, throwing in some humour. You make it sound like I was actually having a serious go at the people for Liverpool, you know, the Scousers. But this is, again, you trying to put me in the Liverpool hater box. And the Geordie hater box as well. It makes your attitude more justified. If anyone asks, you were just sticking up for the Scousers, right?
The one thing I kept thinking was, why does he hate survivors so much?
Again, Bubba hates the survivors. I don't hate any gamers. You know, we're all a bunch of nerds.
But the person comes into his chat and says, wasn't that extremely boring for you?
Oh, dude, I love it. The thing is, right, you dirty bastard survivors
again
choose to do the generators. You could come and try and save them. Maybe try and get a bit of an escape going, but you'd rather just do the gens.
Mm-hmm. Because it makes sense against a face camping Bubba. That's the smart thing to do, is do your gens, get out, move on to the next game.
So note that I'm making all my comments here towards the survivors. Not anyone's username. Again, it's not personal. Bubba just doesn't like when survivors don't come and play. I don't play Survivor, but, you know, if I did, I think that I would actually want to get involved with the killer. You know, I mean, doing a gen and getting out for me would be really boring. I'd rather come for the save, you know, maybe fail and die, bit of fun, and you know what, the next game's coming right after this one, you know, so again, it's all fun for me, but, you know, there we are. Okay, dude, whatever, I mean, like, you know, just because you're called something, I mean, I could call myself the best lover in the world, and even though in that case it is true, it might not be true. Again, our humour's maybe different. I don't mind having a joke at myself and stuff. I think it's a really human thing to do.
As Basement Bobby, you don't really play for points. You play for the sheer thrill of it, I guess, and you know, to have a little bit of a meme time. But this is a response to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about points. I'm here for the punishment.
Punishment?
Yeah, Bubba's playing to punish his survivors for daring to challenge him. I don't know if you've actually seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but you know, here's an interaction of Bubba getting introduced to the first victim.
Hey, pal. Hello.
This guy here, for example, Banjo, he might think he's going to have a great game, some good chases, but he's going to get downed and he's going on a hook.
He's literally saying he goes out of his way to ruin the games for survivors.
I like to pick a target in the lobby when I'm a killer. I don't know why I'm not allowed to do that, you know? Is this your rules you've came up with or something, sorry? Do you see how far it's come? He's went from, it's not my job to make survivors have fun, to me ruining games.
I've come away with the conclusion that he genuinely thinks he is on some sort of glorious crusade.
I think we can all agree that, you know, the whole idea of the crusades, they have really negative connotations. This is why that word was used. It was used for a reason, to give you these negative crusader racist views against me.
He has genuinely taken it upon his own shoulders, as if given to him from a higher power.
Now, apparently, I'm some religious fanatic.
To teach the survivor community a lesson.
So remember, he's trying to say that I'm attacking everyone who plays a survivor? No. I'm trying to kill the survivors in my lobby. That's it. Not the person, the survivor. I'm sorry, listen, I'm not the person that you want me to be for your video.
To teach them that the killers are better.
The killer is the stronger in-game character. That's why there's 4 survivors and 1 killer.
That the killer community is actually superior.
Again, it's nothing against any community. If there was not a survivor community, I wouldn't have anybody to play with. But he keeps putting me in these boxes.
But I'm going to be very brutally honest here. You're not on a glorious crusade, my guy. You're just a fucking bully.
So because I like to play Bubba as a face camper, you know, I like to get into a bit of roleplay, because I like to get into it, I'm a bully. There's a big difference between someone playing a video game, you know, within its limits, to being a bully. You know, like a real life bully. But then again, it's just another box to put me in.
You may think that you are this William Wallace type hero who is saving the world from the scourge of the survivor community.
Every Scotsman is William Wallace, right?
But in actuality, you are no better than the playground bullies that you find in every single schoolyard across the world.
Have you ever been bullied before? Do you know somebody who has? How do you feel about those bullies? You know, what they've done to your friends and your loved ones? This is the box that he's putting me in. This guy is peddling hate. Just choose a box. Which one suits you?
You are literally a sad little man sat behind his keyboard and mouse trying to dish out shit.
Really personal attacks here. This Aaron chap is actually quite vicious.
Just because you seem to get some sort of joy about making others feel bad.
Again, I like to play the role the game lets me, you know? Again, remember what you said. It's not my job to make sure the survivors are having fun.
You seem to get joy in seeing other people in pain or frustration or getting annoyed.
I mean, you say this, but you're the one who is making videos where you snip everything out of context, you're hiding information, you're trying to paint a picture so people can target me. Who's the one getting joy from hate here?
And that just makes you a bully.
No, mate, I'm not a bully. I'm on my channel, doing my own thing. What you're trying to do here is make a wider issue, because the wider the target, the easier your viewers are going to have at being able to hit one beat that you've created for me. One box. This is manipulation.
And this journey that you seem to be on, this point you're trying to make, this isn't real life.
That's right. This isn't real life, but you seem to be taking what's happening in a game and making it about real life issues, right?
And I know this video is already very long, so I'm only going to show you one more thing, but I feel like it just sums up everything that this guy has in terms of an attitude towards this game. So this is in an endgame chat. No one has said anything to him, and this is after he got a 4K through his camping playstyle. He put, GG easy. Welcome to Trump's America. AKA Behavior's latest update. Behavior rewarded my camping playstyle.
So I feel at this point like I could upload 20 jokes for you that you wouldn't get, but, you know, I'll make a comment anyway. I live in Scotland. This is not Trump's America. Also, Trump is not in power anymore, so the joke about those MAGA guys who do, you know, bad stuff as if that gives them permission to do it because Trump's in charge or something, it's satire. It's the whole, welcome to Trump's America. You know, we're poking fun at these people.
My man compares the most recent update in Dead by Daylight to Trump's America, and then actually insinuates that it's a good thing and that he has been rewarded.
So I'm not sure if you've been keeping up with the patch, but killers are essentially getting 50 more seconds worth of gen time before they can escape. That's 50 seconds of Bubba being able to camp before you can actually leave. So, if you have anything to say about that, maybe target one of the big streamers who have made several comments the fact that this patch is going to help face camping.
I cannot for 1 second believe that there are actually 2 versions of this person in the world.
No, see, here's the thing. You don't want there to be 2 versions of me. You want there to be only 1 version of me. That way, you can make some money.
Just uninstall the game.
He doesn't like my playstyle or my humour on stream. I guess I should just leave the game, because he said so, right? Just uninstall the game.
Go and do something else. Go and touch some grass.
I guess this guy thinks that streaming just obviously isn't right for me.
You need to go and talk to somebody.
Because I'm just this unhinged person, right?
If you ever come across this person, report him.
So anyone who comes across me should just report me. That kind of sounds like you're trying to deplatform me. Let's be honest, I'm a tiny blip on the radar. I love my stream, my subs are amazing. I've got my fish tank and stuff, and I play the role of Bubba sometimes, sure. But what you're doing is you're punching down. You're talking about someone with a few hundred survivors who's been streaming for a few weeks against someone like yourself, thousands and thousands of views, and you're probably thinking that I'm not going to fight back. Well, I guess you've not met many Scotsmen then.
Don't give him the attention he wants.
So remember, you're the one who came into my stream, you said nothing, you took footage to fit your narrative to make about your toxic videos. I was doing my own thing, not interfering with anybody apart from my 200 followers, again, who choose to follow what I'm doing.
Again, I blurred his name and everything on this because, honestly, this one isn't even about stopping him getting hate.
You're the one who has got hate in your heart, man. I think you're the type of person who's going to find offence in everything. That way you can point to the hate and say whatever you want.
This is actually just about starving him of the attention that he so clearly wants.
So the thing with the internet is, you can blur someone's name, but who else has the Salt Bay Bubba in the fish tank? I've not seen anybody else with that. It's not hard to find somebody if you want to find somebody. And I've already had some of your goons coming into my stream. I've had to ban them, and my follower count has went up. These are people who have not been in my games. These are people who have more than likely found their way to my stream because of your video. And I've had to close my stream off, until I can get this video up and say, this is my side of the story. So, congratulations, you managed to deplatform me for however many weeks. What a really shitty thing to do to somebody. You've got to remember as well, this guy talks about reaching out to people. I've reached out to the survivor, etc. He didn't reach out to me at any point to let me know a video was coming out, to say, do you have anything to say about it? Nothing at all, literally just drops it on me, because when he drops grenades, he makes money.
If you know who this is, if you ever come up against him, ignore him, report him, and move on.
So again, if you see me, just ignore what I have to say, ignore my side of the story, just report me, get me kicked off Twitch, Dead by Daylight. Who's the bully here, sorry? The guy with 3,000 followers on Twitch, 5,000 on YouTube. I think it's actually been up to 6,000, 7,000 now.
That is the best way that you can annoy this guy.
That's right. You tell them the best way to annoy me and harass me. So I've had to pay to get a video made because, I don't have the skills. I'm a new YouTuber, Twitch person, whatever. And I thought it was important that I could say my piece, say my side of the story. There's not going to be other videos. So if this guy decides to jump on me even further and sort of hammer down, there's not going to be any more response to me. So please, if there's anything you're maybe not sure about, anything you want to talk about, come at my stream. No problem, we'll have a chat about it. One of the big things as well is just having some sort of record about what you're actually doing here and how easily people can get misrepresented. I can't speak for the other people that you've made videos on at all. I don't know them, but I'm just this old man gamer, I've got a young family. I enjoy playing the different roles and stuff from different games, and the bottom line is that your words, your narrative that you've created has essentially put my family in danger. You deleted all the comments that I made on YouTube to defend myself. You actually encourage people on your comments as well. So have a look at these comments here, the things that you're sort of saying, and the sad thing is that the amount of people who watch your videos in comparison to mine, I'm never going to have a fraction of the view count that your video gets, but at least I'll have something there for myself personally, for my sanity, to click and say, here, you know, this is my side of the story. I also want to let you know as well that I'm going to hold you personally accountable for this narrative that you're creating and any, you know, negative repercussions that happen to, you know, myself or my family due to what you've done to your videos. I understand that not everybody agrees with, you know, a Bubba that face camps or slugs on hook and stuff. Remember, I'm a killer who, you know, I often talk about how hard killers have it, you know, especially when I'm not playing Bubba. I'm playing maybe Freddy or Pinhead or something. And I know that no matter what I do say, there's always going to be a bunch of people who don't agree with my view on the state of the game, or, you know, what's balanced, what's not. But that's okay. I'm not here to make judgment on those people. I'm okay with that. But, you know, I'm not going to be put in one of these boxes so this guy can essentially monetize somebody's suffering.